be an unpredictable city. Affluency doesn't mitigate its problems. In some ways, it amplifies them. This is why we're deployed. But we've seen better days.
Then why are we just now debriefing?
This mission is not complete.
I only know of her. Our lack of data collection is a problem.
Valdez, I'm aware of your investigative talents. Braxwell spoke highly of you, and that's why you're on this team. Local law enforcement handles itself very well. But there are those with abilities. Some believe themselves to be good. Others don't even attempt to act as if they are. Either way, we're involved. Not everyone will agree with our status. But that can be said for anything. May I remind you both, we're Alphacore, and failure is not what we do.
Welcome. I wanted to talk about Rippaverse because Eric July just launched this is his third book. He's done Rippa has done ISOM 1, ISOM 2. If you don't know, ISOM is a new character he's created. And this is a whole new universe he's created called the Rippaverse. It's set in so far the story's set in a city called Florespark. And Isom's on the hunt for somebody who's gone missing, a friend of his sister's. And there's all kinds of weird stuff happening. There's crazy creatures. There's gangsters. It's a lot of fun so far. There's all the characters that have powers, they're called Excepts in this universe. And he kind of retired. I saw him retired from the superhero gig to live on a ranch, to work a ranch. But now he's come out of retirement because this woman's gone missing, and so he's having a crazy time now, just looking for this woman, and then there's a whole mystery that he's got to unpack. There's monsters he's got to fight. That scene that was depicted in that trailer is from ISOM 2. Toward the end of ISOM 2, him and I forget her name. I think it's Blood. I don't remember if she tells him her name or not when they meet up. Him and that woman that rides the dragon thing. But I really like her design. Like I'd want a lot of these action figures when they come out. Alphacore also is interesting. I want to know their stories. I want to know Yaira's story. Seems like she's like a fan favorite character. A lot of people were getting T-shirts with her on them. They had a couple people cosplaying her at the cons. Like this universe has already taken off in a big way. And the first book launched, and he made over $3 million with it. So that was able to fund a lot of the merchandise and the next books that they're doing. He's able to pay big names like Chuck Dixon, the is it the Koska sisters? I think that's what they're called. The ones doing Yaira. Chuck Dixon though, he's the one doing Alphacore. So Alphacore just launched Alphacore #1, and that's the one I've been most excited about because Chuck Dixon is one of my favorite Batman authors. He's written Nightfall, Legacy. Legacy's great. I love that. And like so many of the series, like Catwoman, Birds of Prey, Nightwing, Robin, like pretty much the whole Bat family, Azrael, Detective Comics. But I wanted to get into this article that Bounding into Comics put out. I'm gonna share this real quick. It's all about the see the mainstream media is not covering this because it's an embarrassment to them because DC and Marvel are struggling right now to even get sales. Yeah, and you know why? It's because they've been pandering to the wrong audience. They haven't been trying to cater to hardcore comic book fans who just want good stories, who don't want, identity politics BS shoved down their throats. So here, I'm gonna share this real quick. And all this is, Rippaverse is a good story. It's starting off strong, I think. Eric July rocks the comic book world again with Alphacore success. This character, I don't know who this character. Okay, this is from the new one. Seen some of the inside pages. The art, I love the art in this. See, that's the main thing that draws me to comic books a lot of time is the art. Like first and foremost, if it can have a really good story, but if I don't like the art, then I probably won't care because it's got to have a good blending of good story and good art, in my opinion. That's why, like, a lot of people recommended the Arkham Asylum comic book to me, but I just did not like the art. I couldn't get into it. I'm sorry. Eric July launched another incredible win with Alphacore #1. Yeah, it's already almost made $1 million in what, 5 days, 6 days? It's crazy. I ordered my #1, the cover A. I just pick whatever one I like the most. Doesn't matter if they're rare or not. The graphic novel by heavy-hitting industry veterans Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett launched on Monday with a complete revamp of the Rippaverse website, providing a waiting room queue for when people entered the campaign pages. Yeah, when he first launched the website and had #1 go for on sale, the website kept crashing because so many people were getting on, and like I guess their servers weren't up to it. Oh man, I remember that. That was crazy. So I had to wait a while to actually order mine. Like, it wouldn't let me. Providing a waiting room queue for when people entered the campaign pages to prevent the site crashing overload. July endured on the first 2 ISOM campaigns. Yeah, that's right. The second one had the same kind of problem. Yeah, this time though, it took me like a minute to order mine. The strategy worked, providing a smooth customer experience for the first 2 days of the campaign where the site stayed up and the Alphacore book was simple to purchase. The campaign has garnered nearly 7,000 unique backers. Oh, it's more than that now. With over 13,000 books sold between the 4 covers, totaling over 780,000. This is on par with the numbers ISOM #2 was doing upon its launch earlier this year, where the campaign reached 960,000 in its first 48 hours. Yeah, I can't believe he's launched 3 books within a year. Like, that's insane. Like, 90 something page books and made millions. Millions. It's just been a year since it came out with the Rippaverse. Even though the dollar amount of Alphacore #1 is slightly lower than what was raised for ISOM #2, There are reasons for it, which don't have to do with fewer books being purchased. First, the ISOM 2 had a graded and slabbed cover option at 100, which Alphacore doesn't have, with its foil cover being half the price. Second, the regular covers are all at a price point less than ISOM 2 at $28 instead of $35. Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, oh, it's $28 now. Nice. The shipping option lower by $2, saving customers $9 per book compared to the previous campaign. Yeah, see, with the first 2 books, he was still trying to get his warehouse up and running and fully stocked and everything set up. Like he was starting from the ground up. He was starting his own company from the ground up, so that comes with a lot of overhead, and that's why he had to charge more. The shipping costs, the packaging, everything costs. So I understood why he was charging so much. It was like $30, $35 for the first 2 books, I think. Yes, and like this is the only independent comic creator that I was giving money to. I mean, I haven't really been interested in a lot. I might end up buying EVS's Cyber Frog series because he seems like an interesting character. Oh, and Kelly Jones is doing a Dracula book that looks really interesting. Dracula's origin. I forget what the title is. Dracula something. But yeah, that's about Dracula's origin. Anyways, the difference with the lower price point easily makes up about 100,000 of the differential of the backing between the 2 campaigns. With numbers being steady, it comes as a relief to the Rippaverse team, whose July posts were on edge before release. He elaborated in a post on the topic, stating, Alphacore is a new property and the first non-ISOM book. It's nearly impossible to guess just how well it'll do. Well, this is just me, but I was really intrigued by Alphacore from the start. Just the look of the characters, their dynamic. It's a superhero team that's like super cops. They work with the cops to try to quell these accept incidents. These they try to clean up after the accepts, do the job that the cops can't really do. It's like it's like Batman with the GCPD. Like he was helping them with all the supervillain crap. So yeah, that was his statement there. Big shout out to all the creatives that have gone out of their way to show love. I'm trying to make my rounds and acknowledge them all. I'm sure there's a ton of people to acknowledge. Like you can't really get to everybody. Not only was it a new property, but it marks the first Rippaverse book to not have Eric July's name on it as the writer. Fans were speculating for months how well a book would do without his direct contribution to the project, and customers answered with a resounding amount of faith in the direction of the Rippaverse. Well, I have faith in Chuck Dixon's writing, for one thing, and I have faith in Eric July's direction, because he allowed Chuck Dixon to just, to go ham with this. Like, to like do what he wants as long as he stays true to the characters that Eric July created, which is how it was like back in the day at DC and Marvel. They would kind of give creators free reign when it came to certain characters. Joe Bennett and I are so pleased with the reception Alphacore is receiving. The votes are in for good comics. The legend Chuck Dixon said about the launch. He teased something to come in the future. And Joe and I aren't done. That's good. I'm glad that they're staying on. They're just going to be part of the Rippaverse team for years to come. We're working on a second project for the Rippaverse, a new character we created. Nice. Chuck Dixon's already creating new characters. With the massive sales numbers and hype surrounding Alphacore, fans will be excited to hear that this A-list created team will return for another Rippaverse project with an original character on top of it. I can't wait. I've loved this series so far. Eric July has landed another home run success, and the future is only looking bright for this parallel economy-driven company as it comes closer to being a truly dangerous competitor with Marvel and DC Comics. In my opinion, you can't go wrong with competition. You need competition because it makes all sides strive to be better. And how you do that is you cater to the customers. The customer is always right. But certain companies have forgotten that, and they try to cater to a certain percentage of the population that doesn't buy their crap. Eric recognized this, so he decided he was going to throw his hat into the ring and create something new that's his own. Like nobody can take that away from him. And it's actually in direct competition with the mainstream comics. And it's beating the crap out of them. So that's why the mainstream media doesn't cover it, because they know it's embarrassing to them, to their crowd. So yeah, I'm very excited to see where this goes, and I admire him so much for what he's done. Like as an independent creator myself, I admire this guy a whole lot. And I wish I had met him face to face. I did go to Dallas Fan Expo one time, and he and the Geeks and Gamers and them were there. I didn't get to speak to him though. I wish I had, but I got to hear him speak though at a panel. But yeah, like I said, excited to see where this goes. And thank you for watching. And make sure to go to Rippaverse.com and order your Alphacore #1. If you haven't gotten ISOM 1 and 2, you can get those. And then he's already announced some other books, like Yaira is coming out this December, I believe, this winter sometime. And then after that, who knows? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.